and some basic things that you can do from the first day you have a fighting cane or a standard walking cane. Grab your cane, put it in your right hand, palm facing the sky. The long side is going to come out of your thumb, and I'm going to have you do some warming up motions first so that you can stay safe from injury during this workout. Now you're going around and around, the long side's out of the thumb. It's just a small cranking motion. You have to create enough momentum for it to go forward. The way that I do that is to push farther out. That starts it, and then I can bring it back in and keep it small. Now, when you do this, you can do this from a standing position or a seated position. This is great for anybody, no matter what your mobility level is. You might be a wounded warrior. You might be a senior who's in a chair, or you've lost some mobility. You might be a senior who's super fit and super strong. Whatever it is, doesn't really matter. As long as you warm up properly, you're going to make progress from where you start. Now, from here, I'm going to bring it into my other hand, doing the same thing, just palm facing the sky. Welcome back, Kyle. The thumb has the long side coming out of it, and the way that I start that is that longer motion at the beginning, pushing away, and then allows it to go around. Now, you want two things from this exercise. One is to develop some callus on your hand so that your cane, your walking cane, whether it's this Cane Master self-defense cane or an everyday walking cane, you want that to slide through your hand like this. You want it to be able to move so when you're fighting, when you're striking, you're able to defend yourself. Good morning, Adrish. It's good to see you. Everything's great. Hope all is well with you. You're going around and around. Your stomach's up and in, abs tight, breathing through your face. That's just to say, don't overthink it, right? Just make sure you're taking deep breaths. A lot of times, you get too many instructions. I like to focus on the ones that are important. Take it between your legs. You're going to put your weight on it, and you're going down and up. Now, fast and effective cane self-defense requires that you have some level of mobility, flexibility, strength, and endurance. You can start from zero. You have some, or you wouldn't be alive, right? We're going to have just a little bit, right? And then you're going to have a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a lot more later when you do these exercises. So don't skip these strengthening exercises. I'm going to give you, keep it fast and effective. Fighting with sticks. This workout, fast and effective cane self-defense, is going to make you lean, strong, healthy, and fast while going over basic self-defense techniques and the principles of self-defense that work. Now do each exercise for 30 seconds. Come back to this spinning motion. You're going to do this here to start like you've already done, and then bring it across the body and back, across the body and back. Now, when you have an attacker with a knife, or you have multiple attackers, or you have a bigger attacker, when you're trying to defend yourself against a big threat, an important threat, someone with a knife, multiple attackers, this spring's getting old, or someone who's bigger, it's all going to be the same thing. You're going to have a reach advantage with your cane. You're going to have a strength advantage with your cane, meaning that this oak cane hits hard, is able to move them back, create distance between you and the threat, and you're going to be very strong. It's good to see you, droid. We're here spinning, and then you're going to bring it over and back across the body. Now, this cross-body motion continues to build those calluses in your hands so that the cane moves well through your hand. It's also going to start to engage your core muscles. The core muscles keep you standing upright, improve your posture, and will increase your effectiveness and your efficiency in defending yourself, in pursuing the fight for self-defense. Because you have strong muscles here and in your back, for this exercise right now, you're going to be able to defend yourself better. This also allows you to practice strikes here and that backhand strike. So you're disguising repetition. Later, you might slide it up to here, and it's this strike and that strike, but you're practicing here and back, getting stronger and stronger in that motion. Do that for 30 seconds. Go back to a supported squat. All of your self-defense moves with your walking cane, when you fight with sticks, sticks in your hand, but all the power comes out of your legs. It's all pushing off of the floor. Doing this exercise starts to build that strength in your base and your foundation. giving you wicked knockout power for self-defense. So don't skip this. This is also gonna get your heart rate up. It's gonna burn some fat, so you're gonna get lean, down and up, but only when you do it 30 seconds at a time. You want that heart rate to climb. You want your metabolism to rise. But mostly, and this is the most important part, you want to become fighting fit. You want to be able to defend yourself. Put it back in the other hand, crank it forward. Stomach up and in, abs tight, starting motion, and then across and back. Think of slapping them across the face, and then a backhand across the face. Down and back, down and back. Those are the basic slashing strikes of most weapons, whether it's a short sword, a machete, a collie stick. It could even be, good morning, John. It could be a nunchucks, a pair of nunchucks. They're all the same. Across the body and back. And do this standing to improve your core muscles, or do it sitting in a wheelchair on a park bench at the end of your bed because you're stuck in the house with COVID and you got short ceilings. It's also going to improve your core strength, your striking ability, your speed, power, your balance, the strength in your hand, your heart rate's going up. You're going to do this in a seated position, and it's going to work just as well for you, standing or sitting. And I say do both. Practice sitting. You never know when you're sitting on the park bench and the threat comes up. You got to strike it, strike, right? Reach out, smash somebody, whether it's to the side, the front, or even behind. Maybe you're at the bus station. We're getting ready for you're sitting on the subway, bam, or on the plane. You're sitting, minding your own business. You have to immediately defend yourself, and all you have is a solid oak Cane Masters. This is the dojo training cane, by the way. If you want to see what it costs, the link is below. But the point is to hit it. This is an effective self-defense because, and you don't have to. I'm going to show you why, Droid. You have that length right there, and you have this strength and that power. Good, excellent. I like that, John, that's smart. Now, we did that here. We're gonna go back. This is the third set. Down and up, building power in the legs, but it's more than that. You're releasing trace amounts of the precursors to the hormones your body makes that lean you out and keep you young, heal your body faster. You're just going on and up, down and up. And as you warm up, you can go a little lower. If you can. If you can't, don't go lower. But do a little bit, and then do a little bit more tomorrow, and a little bit more the next day, and a little bit more the next day. Now, cane. This is the cane. You don't have a cane, use a walking stick. You don't have a walking stick, Droid, grab your collie sticks or knee sticks. It's basically a lot of the same techniques. You don't want to kill them. You're going to create distance between you and the threat. They bring this knife out. You've got that distance. Fighting with sticks, the principles are all the same. Situational awareness, pay attention to what's happening around you. You might not want to use a cane. Take these techniques, take these principles, apply them to your Arnis sticks, apply them to collie sticks, apply them to a short sword, a wooden sword, a long staff, the bow, the medium-sized staff, the jo, the short stick, the hanbo, a hiking stick, a walking stick. But my favorite, because you can take this anywhere you go, because of this crook right here, this hook, this is a walking cane, everyday standard walking cane, mobility device, medical device. Most places will not say you can't bring this in. And here in the United States, you can bring this everywhere because that's your right. As an American citizen, the Americans with Disabilities Act. It's been around for years and years. Americans with Disabilities Act. The other one. Then you smash right in the face. The first thing you do is you stick that through his eyeball. And then you smash him. And we're going to go over that in a minute. All right, I thought you were being serious, but anyway. I get it. Let's have a little fun. I'm all for fun. All right, so we did these squats. Now, I don't want you to stop turning this wrist because I want a lot of flexibility and strength in your joints for self-defense. So the next thing we're gonna do, we did the warm-up spin, we did the cross-body spin, That'll make you smarter, by the way. But now I want you to choke up a little bit. Starting from here, let it slide. Remember I said you want that callus so it slides through your hand easier. From here, slide it up. Now, put this in front of your body. This is my right hand. I have the right foot forward. I make my body a smaller target, and I'm going to come through to the right. And then I'm going to turn my palm out, away from me. See how that pops my elbow up a little? I'm going to bring this up from my back. And I'm going to bring it back down the other way. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Droid, like everything else, the problem with the person who has the knife, your problem is distance. If you let them close enough to slash, 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 or stab, 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 that becomes a problem for you. If as soon as you see that threat, you respond, lift them up between the legs, and then boom, pushing, creating distance. This is why fighting with sticks to me is so important, because, and especially fast and effective self-defense with the cane or cane self-defense, you have reach advantage. Even if he has a cleaver or a butcher knife, you still, that's what, maybe this long, maybe he has a machete, maybe this long, you still have this distance. You're going to create distance and you don't hesitate. We talk about this all the time. I talk about this to you. I want you to go straight in and as straight as you can. Even if he has a katana, you're gonna block it, smash him in the face. Again, I thought you were being serious. All right, and it does happen. We've all seen the news stories. Crazy kid walking around the neighborhood with a crazy man. This happened when I was in the Marine Corps. There was a guy came home from deployment, found that his wife was being unfaithful. In the moment, pulled the katana that he had just brought back from his deployment to Japan. He had a pack med or whatever, or what do they call those? You guys, a pack, I can't even think of the words anymore. I'm so old. Anyway, hacked him up. True story, sad, but true. So yes, it may happen. 1 in 7.6 billion people might come at you with a katana. The rest of them will probably, if they have a blade, have something like this. Either shorter or a little bit longer, but not long enough to defeat your advantage. And your advantage is gonna be 2 things here. 3 things, let's talk about 3 things today. You're gonna have reach. You have the advantage that it's not gonna bleed in your skin and your body does. And you have power in that strike. It's a force multiplier. You take what you have naturally and now you can stick that through their face for self-defense. You're a lot stronger. Let's go back to where we were with this figure 8. It's in front of the body. I'm gonna come across at an angle and I drop it to the inside. That's my left hand. It's gonna go to the left side of your body. You're gonna bring it up behind your head. You're gonna bring it back out and drop it to the right side of your body and bring it out in front of your head. So you're gonna go inside to outside, inside, outside. And the purpose of this figure 8 or infinity spin is not to fight. You're not doing this saying, come on, man, trying to keep them back. Because I don't want you to make those mistakes. In self-defense, I don't want to be doing spins or whatever. I want to be able to take this and go right into his face. I want immediate direct explosive. These angles I'm going to do later, but this is disguising my repetition. That means I'm doing it over and over again. And you're going for flexibility in the wrist, strength in the hand, strength in the forearms. So when you do hit, full speed, full power for self-defense, it's not coming out of your hand. You're gonna build strength with this figure 8. This is also gonna force your core muscles because you're going cross body, 1, 2, 1, 2. They're gonna be stronger. Now, 30 seconds, you're not done with this hand. You're going to reverse it. Watch how I reverse it. I drop behind me and I pull it up. Drop behind and pull it up. So before where it was going behind the head, now it's going behind the elbow on the other side. So you're gonna do this reverse spin. Now you can think of it this way. Forward spin is that thumb, or I like to think of this and this. That's this spin behind me, this spin in front. So either this, and then to reverse it, good morning, it's good to see you. Good, thanks for watching that one yesterday. 1, 2, 1, 2. I hope wherever you are, the sun is shining. Whether it's hot or cold, wet or dry, as long as the sun's out, getting that good vitamin D, your energy's gonna be up. We're creatures of the sun, I think. 1, 2, 1, 2. You might like a little melancholy gray, but at least a little sun. So I'm doing a reverse spin, leading with the pinky side, and when I went forward, those are those downward slicing, slashing strikes. Coming up, there's still slashing strikes. I'm just gonna bring it up, straight to the side of the head, or to the ribs, or to the arm, or to that elbow. From here, and then on the other side. And once you do it with one hand, before we go to the other hand, I wanna add more leg work. I want you to do a lot of legs today. You're doing legs in this workout because this is fast and effective cane self-defense, fighting with sticks. Again, the fight starts on the ground. Or if you're sitting in a chair, it starts on your bum. But everything has to be strong, and if you just work on the hands, but you don't pay attention to strengthening the legs, your foundation will be weak. And you know, just like a boxer, you don't want their foundation weak legs. If they take a couple hits here, but they feel it in their legs, and they're on the ground and pound, especially MMA. You want to have wicked strong legs for that hard knockout punch or kick, or in this case, that's pushing, jab, slashing, slicing motion. So from here, it's in the right hand, and I have the crook facing behind me. Either way is right. You can also have it facing out. I'm gonna step in with that right leg, only the right. That's the right hand, and you can go far if you have a lot of flexibility and strength. If you're just starting out, or you're just getting started again, go slow. But make sure there's a little downward motion. A little downward motion. And again, you're supporting yourself. You're taking a lot of the weight off of your knees. So that if you have painful old creaky knees, whatever the excuse is, you don't feel it so much. You're gonna do this 30 seconds. We want time under tension. We want to change the body by keeping pressure on it for as long as we can. And then we come back into this hand. You're gonna come through and back, make a cane. If you don't have a cane, make one or buy one. But I always say invest your time before you invest your money. That's all. So remember I said it's palm up, palm down, palm up, and the fingers are just closed. It's palm up, palm down, or I was reversed there. Pull in and out, pull in and out, close the hand, 2. And again, your purpose for this is to build strength and flexibility in your grip. 30 seconds. And then in this hand, either facing the back or the front, doesn't matter, stepping and dropping a little. Left hand, left foot, just down for 30 seconds. Leaning as much as you need to get some good mobility in your body. This workout, fighting with sticks, fast and effective cane self-defense, is not just using the cane. I'm going to show you how to do all the strikes and how to defend yourself, but you have to, no, I'll tell you why in a second. That's a good question though, Joy. Thanks for asking, but I'll tell you why. Good morning, Dave. You've got to work the legs to build the power, the foundation, but I want you to lean your body out. I want you to get stronger, healthier. I want you to feel younger as you get older. You can feel younger as you get older. And if you're young, I want you to grow up without injuries, all of the rolling of your knees and the ankles and, twisting your knee and all that stuff. That doesn't have to happen. That happens when we're not mobile, we're not active, we don't strengthen the body the proper way. The exercises I'm showing you are for self-defense, whether it's with a stick, that's the daily shillelagh strike, by the way, or if it's with your hand, right? Either open hand, like the karate concept of open hand or empty hand, or maybe it's taekwondo kicking, tang sudo, even jiu-jitsu. And by the way, if you do jiu-jitsu, you're gonna be very, very strong. Welcome, new subscriber. Thank you, I appreciate that. But you gotta get the legs in, you gotta work the legs. Now, let's go back and talk practical strikes with your walking cane or your self-defense cane. And the reason is, yeah, thank you, John. You need a foundation. The reason that I want you to keep it practical, and you can learn all the fancy stuff. You can learn the joint locks, pressure points, takedowns, come along techniques. That's what we call it in the military police or the police law enforcement. You can learn all that, but before you learn all that, from the first day, hello, Blake, it's good to see you. I want you to be able to just, for self-defense, stick it through their face, right? Create distance between you and the threat. Especially if that knife comes out, you need distance first. So the first thing I want you to do, you're gonna put your weight here, stand with your feet just under your body. Don't worry too much about your footing. Step back with one foot and lift the cane. Notice how my other cane comes out? That's to guard my head. Now this cane needs to be between you and the threat. And again, look how much distance that is. You're stepping back to make your body a smaller target. Your cane comes up between you and the threat. That's his face. For example, we're gonna say that's his face. Let me make him a little taller. Seems a little short. And he might be shorter, I don't know. He might be 10 feet taller. Might be Shaq himself coming down with the big knife. Probably not. If Shaq's coming at me with a knife, I'm in trouble, right? Because he must be really desperate, for one. And two, he's a really big dude. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, mentor. Let me answer your question in a minute about why I don't rate other online martial artists. One, I just think it's silly. I don't know them. They've never met me, right? And I know what I see, but I'm not going to get into that negative mudslinging crap, because anytime you throw crap on someone else's face, you got all that crap on your hand, you go itch your, and then you're smelling your poo all day. Does that make sense? If I pick up crap and throw it on someone else's face, my hand's full of crap, it flies. Picture it? It's as simple as that. I'm not throwing crap in someone else because then I'm gonna stink too. I don't need that. All right, make your body smaller, put your stick between you and the threat, and the first motion is a thrust. Now, this thrust goes through his nose, right? You're gonna smash, there's this cartilage in there. Some of it's already broken. Mine's been broken a bunch of times. That's why it's so big. Smash that in there. Smash it into his eyes for self-defense. Teeth down for self-defense. In through the throat. It's as simple as, this is your Cane Masters Dojo training cane. If you want to see the price, the list is below. It's the first one on there. I had to say that, right? Times are tough with COVID. I don't have as many students as I used to have, and I appreciate you guys being here. And if you happen to need a cane, please buy it for me if you're going to spend the money. For self-defense, exactly, for self-defense. From here, step back. Make yourself a smaller target. Make yourself a smaller target. Push. Think of fencing. I love fencing. Fencing is one of the best sports you could ever invest your time in. Western fencing or Japanese kendo fencing, right? Kenjutsu, any type of fencing with a sword, because it's so fast and it develops new neural pathways in your brain that make you just a problem-solving genius. Quick secret, the top schools in the United States, they list the top 2 sports that they look for on an application that let them know that the student coming in is a wicked, great, smart, and problem solver. Number 1 is fencing. Number 2 is martial arts. But 1 is fencing, right? So why aren't we fencing? We're about to. So you're gonna step back, make yourself a smaller target, and thrust. From here, thrust, thrust. It's as simple as that. And it doesn't have to be a hard strike because, again, hardwood, and you can see I beat this thing, the bottom fell off. I'll get a new one. But just straight through even with the hard rubber there, just through the nose, through the mouth, through the throat. Since I was 9 years old, Adrish, I've been doing the martial arts. From here, I step up and I push. That's the first strike. I'm gonna have you build a striking combination right now. From here, practice 1 and 2. Notice I brought it to my shoulder and I'm coming forward with my strike and not overhead. This overhead strike is too slow, and if they know what they're doing, or instinctively, if they close that distance, they got that knife, you're in trouble. They got you here before. If they have a gun, two things will happen. They'll pull it out, boom, 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 and forget it. You don't have to worry about anything. You're dead because they pulled it out, right? It's actually like that. If they pull that out. Two, if they pull it out and they're like in some kind of movie and they're like holding the gun on you, holding the gun, that's not going to happen. If it's a movie, read the script and do whatever stunt man, the stunt director, or the fight choreographer came up with. Most likely, if they have one, they're already shooting. Run, hide, fight. That's another discussion. You're not gonna Krav Maga, take it away. I said I'm not gonna talk about other martial artists, but I can talk about Krav Maga, just a little bit. All right. I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying it probably isn't gonna happen that way. So you're here, you make yourself a smaller target, you thrust to the shoulder, coming forward, fighting behind your stick. Always fight from behind your sticks. And then from here, yeah, listen to Jackie Chan. That guy's got great common sense. And he's a wicked, awesome martial artist because he's a wushu guy. He's at the top of his game. See what I did? So I go thrust, angle down, horizontal back. Think of face, temple, neck, or temple or arm or shoulder. But I want you to think in terms of targets. Think in terms of targets, face. I went the wrong way. Face, temple, temple, top of the head. So this is your combination. Basic, super effective, fast and effective self-defense, cane self-defense, fast and effective cane self-defense. Using a Cane Master's cane. If you're looking for a great cane, the Cane Master's cane can't be beat. I don't like the metal ones. They're too heavy. I don't like the ones that are made out of that hard polymer, kind of like the PR24 was. Just too heavy. Too heavy for most people. I want you to be effective with your cane. And yeah, you might be able to do a lot of damage, but it's going to wear you out. I'd rather you have something like an oak cane and be able to do so many things. Or even a lighter cane. If you're much older, I've got the canes. That's the link below. It says get a rattan cane. That's a great option. It's not as effective as oak at breaking bones, but this first one, they're both effective. And that's most important. Immediate direct explosive, stick it in his face, hit him here, smash him on top. So from here, it's in your right side, step back to the left, make yourself a smaller target, thrust, angle, horizontal, vertical, other hand, step back, smaller target, thrust, angle, horizontal, vertical, switch feet over and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, other side. I stepped in. I like to step in. You can also step in. If he has a knife, it'd be better if you step back. But don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. That's the point. When I teach you practical self-defense, and I say, now, you're going to get your hands up in the flinch block, and when he throws the punch, you're going to get out of the way, and they'll say, which way? Do I move the right? Do I move the left? I don't care. Just don't be there when that punch comes through, right? From here, whichever way you move instinctively is the right way. Which block do I use? Do I use an upper block? Do I use an outer wrist block, an inner wrist block? Do I use a knife hand? Do I do this? Don't think about it. Instinctive. Get out of the way. Smash, smash, smash. Defend yourself. It's a fight. It's not a competition. We're not looking for points. We're looking for you go home safe. They don't go home. They go to jail or worse. For them. It's self-defense, right? All right, anyway. Back to your striking combination because we're not done. I want you to add to it. From here, thrust, angle down, horizontal back, straight down the middle, take it, step in, and think of a bayonet attack. That bayonet, the K-bar, boom. Got a whole, I shouldn't say that. I got a couple of K-bars here. Just because I was a Marine, and I picked them up in the Marine Corps, and if you're a Marine, you have an affinity for the K-bar. From here, better position. Thrust, angle, horizontal, vertical, rifle. bayonet attack. You got one more. Slash. I wanted to get the hook in there. See that hook? That's the Cane Master's hook. You get these always on there. Yes, absolutely, Naj. This goes through. Yeah, you should be prepared. It's better to prepare than panic. Prepare or perish. Prepare is the first word. You can either prepare or panic. Prepare or perish. I'm sure I come up with the 10 more P words, maybe. You come up with them, I'll show you my technique one more time. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, is that the one you're gonna use when the guy comes out with, I don't know. It doesn't have to be that. That's the other question they say. They'll say, which way do you move, left or right? I don't know, move. Doesn't matter, as long as you don't get hit. Which block do you use? Doesn't matter, just don't get hit. Which strike do you come back with? Well, that matters, but you're gonna ask yourself a question. What are my targets that you're gonna remove or destroy? That's a principle of self-defense. I've got a big, long piece of oak in my hand, and on one side, it's like that goes through. I can stick this bar through his face, and I can rake this down, and that's gonna catch stuff. Maybe rip out a few teeth, take an eye out of the head for self-defense. The nose comes off for self-defense. It gets stuck in his ear for self-defense. Goes through and rips pull the muscle right off of the chest for self-defense. It's all valid as long as you do something, right? The problem is doing nothing. So let's break this just one more time, because I want you to do this, fast and effective. This is stick fighting. This is the cane. Fast and effective cane self-defense. Real simple, real basic. Smaller target, thrust first. Thrust first. Why do I thrust? Because I want to create distance. I don't want him to close the distance, the gap, with that slashing knife strike, meat cleaver, whatever it is, or stick that pin in me, stick that knife, stick that homemade shiv. I don't want to allow that. I have to stop the attack. Then I can strike, and then try to finish him off, create some distance, slashing through with that big, nasty hook. Yeah, prepare pairs, thank you. All right, now, good morning, Sensei. Yeah, I love that. Keep moving until there's an opening. The fight's not over till you win. That's the point. That's what Sensei Emmett's saying. The fight's not over till you win. Don't stop the fight. Hello, Kim. Good to see you. Maybe. I'll show you what happens if they grab your cane. This is really important. I'm glad you brought that up. From here, you're on the other side. Thrust. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Bring it in here. Slash through here. Now, let's say he grabs it when I go like this. I'm going for his throat, by the way, to end the fight for self-defense. I'm going in here, and let's say he just instinctively grabs it. Now you're fighting. Well, here's what's really cool. Everything from this point out or forward becomes a circle at first. If you have it here and they have it here, their goal is to go like this. They want to pull it away from you. You're gonna assist them a little bit. Let it go in, and when you do, step in with it. Their hands are here. Now you know where their hands are. That's good. Let them have it. Let them have it. Literally and figuratively. You go in, and then you turn. Now, because they're going like this, they're not expecting this. And when you do this, and if you've done any traditional like jiu-jitsu or even Brazilian jiu-jitsu, judo, hapkido, any kind of martial art where there are joint lots and pressure points, you know what happens next. This is going to push them down. So from here, get back to the other side so you don't say, oh, you switch sides on me. Here, they grab it there, go with it. Because they're pulling here, that's going to unweight them a little bit. That's going to take some of the pressure off. As you go in, circle. Once you circle, that's going to compromise their grip. Then you're going to take your left hand, your back hand, because it's left is back for me. You're going to come over the top and brain them with it for self-defense. Yeah, anything and everything. See what I did? I'm really just turning my hip. You can turn your hip. And my hand comes up and down. It can only come up and down because his hands are here, or her hands, for self-defense. So I come from here, and I smash. Then, with this hand that's back, they're no longer holding onto it. Just punch them in the face with it. Just coming straight across, smashing this way, smashing that way, And again, I want you to think of targets and not techniques. So, from here, so if they grab it here, same thing, put the other hand on it, step in when they start to pull it, turn, punch, punch, or turn, thrust. If they're here and they turn, it's going to change. Their hands are going to get twisted up. Their hands get twisted up. And then you're going to, pushing straight in, defeat their grip. And when I get a partner here, Master Gary Hernandez is supposed to be here on Friday or Saturday. He's coming down to this area. And he and I are trying to make our schedules meet. And when that happens, I'm going to try to grab him and say, let's turn the camera on. Let's show a bunch of these. What happens? I call it weapon retention. How do you retain your weapon? How do you keep your hands, how do you keep the cane from coming flying out of your hand and then they start bashing you with it? Because these weapon retention is very important, whether it's a firearm or your walking cane. So we'll talk about weapon retention with the cane when I have a partner. But I want to show you just the basic principles. If you have it here, they grab here, you twist. See what it does to the wrist? You push it down that way, or you twist, you push it down that way. So twisting and driving and then punching or thrusting. This is a big bar of oak through the throat, through the chin, through the teeth, straight down the throat, through the nose, through the eyes, all for self-defense. Now, I showed you self-defense, how you can use cane fighting techniques or stick fighting techniques, fast and effective cane self-defense in this position. Now I want to have you turn your crook around, or your hook, facing the opposite direction. And we're going to do things a little bit differently. From here, I'm going to step back or step forward if I can. But the very first technique is going to be an explosive flicking motion between his legs for self-defense, between their legs, up into the groin. This is going to be the first motion. Whether you're standing here, or standing here, or standing here, isn't going to matter. Your foot stance, or your footwork, your stance doesn't really matter. So from here, you're just coming up between the legs. And again, you have two pivot points. You have a pivot point here, you have a pivot point here. From here to the tip, that's a lot of leverage. That means that's hitting very hard. That's a lot of force. And then you add to that force by adding speed. So you're turning here and plus at the same time. It becomes very explosive, fast, dynamic, powerful strike. So from here, they're coming in aggressively. You don't have time to get in a stance. Bam, you're just going to pop them. And then, after you pop them, lift it and drive. Create that distance, because I still want that thrust. But I want you to think in terms of targets and not techniques. So think of groin, throat, groin, solar plexus, groin, eyes, groin, nose, right? I missed that nose. Groin, whatever that's called, between the belly button and the private parts. That thin layer of muscle that keeps your guts in. And when you get it cut, and then the pop out, and it looks like you got a fist under your skin. If you've ever had a hernia, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's what a hernia is. That muscle is very thin. That keeps you upright, and it tears easily under heavy effort. Or if someone takes a cane and tries to stick it through there, that's going to really slow them down, especially if they got a knife. From here, striking. From here, striking. And if you have to, you can step back and strike if they're charging or if they're coming at you. But you have to respond immediate, direct, explosive. It's got to be really fast. It's got to be straight line, and it has to be. You have to be trying to hit a home run. Or for self-defense, put the tip of the cane through the front of their body to the back of their body, and then keep going until you hit their soul. Right? For self-defense. I don't know that that's where the soul is, but you get the point. Just full commitment on every single strike. Now, in this position, if you have to step into, you have time to get in a more protected position, and before you do your first strike, I want you to step back, and you're going to now slide your cane up. Slide your cane. And again, this is why we spend so much time. Combat cane spinning. If you want to be a combat cane spinner, there's a whole martial art based on combat cane spinning. But that's not what we're doing right now. We're just using the combat cane spinning to warm up and to get those calluses and that proprioception, that feeling. Your hands have their own soul. and this becomes an extension of your hands, of your body, this stick. And you feel it without even looking at it. So from here, stepping up and allowing it to slide down. Now, from here, Adrish, are we talking you got a stick in your hand or you don't have a stick? Got a stick in your hand, thrust, strike, smash them. And then if they're throwing wild punches and kicks and you got a stick in your hand, you're going to win every time. If they don't, then learn how to cover up and move and throw some punches. We'll do that when we do open hand self-defense. We're not doing martial arts. We will. But for your question, Adrish, if you're talking about somebody hand-to-hand, close quarters combat with no weapons, I'll show you how to defend against that. When they're throwing wild punches and kicks, that's good. That's easy. That's the easy. Ask Sensei Emmett. Ask any of the martial artists here or anybody who knows how to fight. That's the best kind, is when, ask John. That's when that's who you want to fight. You want to fight the wild fighter. You don't want to fight the guy who's quiet. The little guy, the scrawny guy with all of the quick twitch muscle fibers who just knocks people out. All right. So from here, the crook is facing behind you. Ergonomically, this allows you better control, especially with your weight, right? This puts it in a more ergonomic, more natural position. When it's turned around, it's not as good of a position for self-defense. Oh, the other way around. There we go. That's why that feels better. All right, this feels a lot stronger. When it's back, I had that backward, just reverse it. When it's back, it's not as strong. There it is. That feels strong. You're gonna pop it up. Now the hook is facing out. So from here, just practice. From here, practice stepping back. From here, put the cane between you and the threat. From here, put the cane between you and the threat. And I want you, again, to think in terms of immediate direct explosive. So that's the thrust. I'm gonna take this big knuckle, and a big hammer. That's a hammer, basically. I'm gonna stick that right through his face. I'm gonna create some distance. So from here, I put the hands, hey buddy, back up, you're getting too close. I have every right to defend myself. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but you can't touch me. Don't come any, bam. Don't come any closer, and then you just immediately thrust. Everything gets straight. Master Gary Hernandez, we're just talking about you. From here, it's up, better position, hands up. This one's open. Always guard your head, right? Let them hit that hard, bony part of your body instead of your eye, your nose, your mouth, your ear. Box your ears, can't hear, right? Guard your head. Make it a habit. Make it habitual, the man says. From here, create some distance. Better position, thrust. Now, this is where I want you to start to shift your thinking. And when you train, instead of thinking thrust, know that it's a thrust, but think face. And then from here, face, 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 face. And then think temple, because you're going to jab them with that big knuckle. That's a big knuckle, that big hammer, right across their face. And then that closes them off, and then you're going to think rake. Think eyes. They're going to come out of the head for self-defense. Think nose. Think lips, teeth. Think neck, veins. Self-defense. It's nasty stuff. Think chest. Pop the pec. Pop the pec right off of the breastbone for self-defense. So what we're doing self-defense. We're not doing, it's not flower arranging, right? I'm not going to say, this guy's about to stab me with that knife. And you know the number, 38 times. He's going to lacerate all my organs. Maybe I ought to get him a nice card from the Hallmark store. Get one of those fresh fruit bouquets and ask him, pretty please, don't stab me with that knife. That doesn't work. They might try to beat that out of us. As I was talking about this morning. A lot of boys are raised in this society now, and they try to beat all the boy out of them, right? Adrish, do you have your stick or not? You have to answer me that question or I can't answer it. Either they have a stick or not. They have a stick. But it's human nature. And then we're all so soft and gentle, and no one wants to say boo to someone else. No one will say poo, even if it's stuck in their mouth, because they don't want to be yelled at or wrong. And now all of a sudden, the bullies, who are not very physically strong and certainly not emotionally strong, and they come up and they have a skateboard in their hand, and they start just terrorizing people. Put your hands up, Adrish. Throw a couple punches and move laterally. This is your practice, Adrish. Punch, punch, move. Punch, punch, move. Punch, punch, move. Do that for 1 full hour. Start with 30 seconds at a time, 30 seconds. And then when you have someone who throws wild kicks and punches, you'll have a great guard. You'll be able to strike and get out of the way, and you'll be fine. That's all you need. It's good if they're wild punches and kicks. From here, step back, thrust, jab, rake, and then think in terms of targets. From here, eyes, temple, nose. Look at that. And you know this is just flesh, right? There's no bone in there, it's cartilage. That comes through here, comes through here. That's gonna stick through your cheek for self-defense. It's a very effective self-defense technique. It's nasty, but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about nasty, horrible people running around. No one's standing up to them. They come up to you, they see you with the cane, and they think, oh, easy target. And you're like, hey, buddy, back up. And then you're gonna think, throat, ribs, nipples for self-defense. That means pulling off, you know what I mean? Not like some weird way, but like ripping up pec muscles, right? Throat for self-defense. That's fatal. That's self-defense. But that's what that is, right? From here, better position, solar plexus, waist or ribs, head, whatever it is, eyes, and practice in those terms. That's with it in this position. Now, I wanted to show you, because I keep talking about this, and I know that a lot of you have started doing this, and I get the emails all the time. It says, I got the resistance bands. It's in the link below. It's a second link. I got the resistance bands as you suggested, and I'm now using it with my cane, and I'm stronger than I've been in 20 years. I get one of those a week. I'm shocked. I'm impressed by how many people are doing that. So you have this. The bar stays in front of your chest. You take the resistance band around your back. You slide that on. Now you're doing standing push-ups. Now you're getting strength for your strikes. Harder, stronger, faster strikes. Your hands are getting stronger. Your upper arms are getting leaner and stronger. Your pectoral muscles, the muscles in your chest are getting stronger. Your shoulders are getting stronger, and you're leaning out. You're burning fat off of your body so you can move faster and more explosively in self-defense. And you're going to do this for 30 seconds. You're not going to rest here. You're not going to rest here. For 30 seconds, as soon as it's out, it's in. As soon as it's in, it's back out. Over and over again, squeezing your muscles. When you're done, it'll just sit there. You let it rest. And then the second set, you're going to give yourself about 20 seconds. Catch your breath. Bring your hands to the inside. It's just around my back. And pushing with your resistance bands. Your elbows are staying in. They're not flared out. They're in, like you're doing close grip push-ups. Your muscles are going to get even stronger. Your triceps are getting stronger. That means every one of your strikes with your cane or open hand are stronger, much stronger. Your guard is going to be a lot stronger. These, I have a link below, John. It's the second link I think. It comes in, you can get one at a time or a set. The red is almost always the lightest one. These gray ones are unique. I haven't seen these for a long time. These were like a low-cost option when I used to have people doing these all the time. And then, but black is the second one. So if you're gonna get two, get the lightest one and the next one up. You can get a great workout with just the lightest one. You just add a little bit more time. Now you're gonna put it under your bum. And you palms face the sky, elbows in, sit back and curl. Now your uppercut, the speed of your regular punch your ability to hold your, everything's getting stronger as your biceps get stronger. And because you're doing it standing, your whole body's engaged, your core is engaged, your chest, your back a little bit's engaged, heart rate goes up, body fat percentage comes down, your ability to move quickly and explosively goes way up. 30 seconds here, and then change your grip, palms down, and work these muscles on the top of the forearm. Those are fighting muscles. From here, just pulling up. 30 seconds there, rest, palms up, closer together, 30 seconds here. Start to work the outside of that arm. And not for vanity's sake, but so that you get more explosive, fast, powerful strikes. Then let it drop. Step in the resistance band. And you're going to start to pull and strengthen your back. Yeah, you don't have to do the over the back. If you have an anchor, we'll call that an anchor. You can practice one hand punching at a time. Don't put it on your back. Or anchor it lower, put your palm in it, and pull it across your body. Most people don't know this, but this work, the push-ups really work the back of the arm, the triceps a lot. There's just a little bit of that. It's when the arm comes this way that you engage the pec muscles and become stronger. So if you anchor low and then pull across down here, you're going to work the lower part of the chest. If the anchor's up here and more in the middle, it's more like a traditional pec deck machine. Remember the old ones? Or like the Nautilus, or a cable crossover, the cable machine. And what I do is I just put my hand across the body a little bit, out of the center line, so that I reach a little bit. And this is really heavy. And then, so going up, that's for the top of the chest. I said it backward. That's for the top of the chest. So the opposite true from here, going down. That's going to be for the bottom part of the chest. So you have the punches, you have these, it's going to make your punches faster, more explosive. You can do these, pulling to your face pulls, hit the backs of your shoulders, get your shoulders back and down, stomach up and in, you'll look taller, you'll be a lot stronger, you'll be able to fight and defend yourself a lot better. But there are very many things. Your imagination is your only limit. And when I work with people, I use bands more than anything else. And it's because you have resistance along the whole exercise. And it gets harder as you get farther away. And it's safer for your body. And then the big question is, what happens when that thing breaks? Is it like a big rubber band that's going to pop you in the eye? I've broken a few of them. They go, whew. They never come flying back and hit you. I've never seen that. No one's ever seen that. Good. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Good morning, T. We're just finishing up. John, thanks for that feedback. Put your comments and questions below. Check those links. I'll see you guys in a little bit. The link's in the description. Check those out.